wanted to strangle chaos. Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. So I was basically going through my Goodreads and brainstorming on what videos I should be doing, and I came across the fact that there are actually a lot of series out there that I'm in the middle of that I haven't finished. So I thought it would be great to do a whole episodes of videos dedicated to finishing series that I'm in the middle of. I'm sure you guys have seen so many people out there doing this series, and I've always been really intrigued to do one of these because I genuinely need to push myself to finish series first before starting another one, because that is a really hard thing for me to do. But yeah, I feel like if I keep procrastinating and don't continue this series, I'm just never gonna pick them up. And the longer that I wait, the more that I will forget about what happens in the first few books that I've already read. So I thought it would be great to just do a whole video and kind of push myself to read the rest of these books and finish this series. And yeah, really love reading series. Starting series are one of my favorite things to do when reading, so I do have quite a bit. I have a note here on all of the series that I'm currently in the middle of. So far I have 15 series, which is kind of crazy. Like, I thought I would have a lot less than that, but 15 series. So I do have them categorized though. I have full series, as in series that are like interconnected, and you kind of need to read them together with each other because they're like continuous story. And there are also separated series, as in series that take place in basically the same universe, but each book is following different characters and different stories. So technically you don't have to read them, but they're still a part of a series together. So, I still want to include that because there are some of these separated series that I also feel like I might want to read in the future. So I think it would be great. So let's just kind of go through what series I'm in the middle of currently and what series I'm hoping to be able to get through or finish, because some of these are also unfinished series. So I'm gonna be doing wherever this series is at right now, as in the latest update for this series. And anyways, let's just kind of go through them first. So the first one, I have the Powerless trilogy. So I did read Powerless and Reckless for this one, so I only need to read Fearless I do have right now, and I have a hard copy of it, so I will be reading that definitely in this video. Another one is the Kindred's Curse series, which the first book of this series is Spark of the Everflame. So I did read that for a video last time, but I never really got the chance to continue to the series. So I have about 3 more books left in this series. But okay, see, the thing with this series is that I cannot even tell you what the hell happened in book one. Like, if you ask me to spew out a plot that happens in this book, I'm blank. My mind is blank and I cannot tell you anything that happens in this book. So I might actually need to reread Arc of the Everflame and then I can continue to the series. Why I want to continue to this series still is because I actually gave this book, I think it was 4.5 stars. So clearly I enjoyed it, but I really don't remember what happens in the series. I did skim through the book yesterday and I kind of have an inkling of some of the scenes that happens, but still I need to reread the series in order for me to continue. So I will probably not be doing that in this episode. I will do it in like the future episode once I've already reread the book. The next one is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. So I did read book one, and I have book two and book three left. So yeah, that is a pretty interesting series. I do really like that aspect of it's definitely like a YA thriller, which I feel like is a really hit or miss for some people. It's either you really like that genre or not. And as I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, it actually was pretty good. So yeah, I think I'll be continuing in this series, maybe in this episode, maybe not, we'll see. And the next one is I have the Crimson Moth series. So I did read Crimson Moth, and I have book two, which is Rebel Witch left for this one. And then I have the Empyrean series, which I read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, so I only have Onyx Storm left to read. However, for this one, I do want to reread Fourth Wing and Iron Flame because man, the last time I read that book was like 2 years ago, and I still remember the things that happened and like some of the major plots, but I do feel like it will be better for me, and it will be giving me a better reading experience as a whole if I reread that series. And yeah, I just kind of want to do a separate video for that, especially dedicated to just reading and finishing that series as of right now, because I know it's going to be a 6 book series, I'm pretty sure. So as of right now, we only have 3 books, and kind of want to do a separate video because I actually really, really like that series. I know I gave Fourth Wing 5 stars, which is great. Very not low-key not looking forward to rereading Iron Flame because that one was a hard one to get through. Not in a sense that it was bad, but in a sense that it was really, really it was a really hard book to get through. If you've read this, I think you know. So yeah, I have that, and yeah, I will be just doing a whole separate dedicated video to reading that book. The next one I have is The Housemaid. So I read The Housemaid and I have book 2 and book 3 left for that one. And then I have One Dark Window. So I read book 1 and I only have Two Twisted Crown left to read for that one. The next one is a series that I just started. I know I'm crazy, but yeah, I did start Throne of Glass. If you guys watched the last video, you know that I started reading Throne of Glass, and now I have like, see, 6 books in that series that I need to read to complete it. So I think I want to at least, my goal is to at least read 1 or 2 book from that series in this video. So yeah, I have Crown of Midnight all the way until Kingdom of Ash, and yeah, that's 6 books that I need to read. So that is all for the full series that I'm currently in the middle of. The next one are the separated ones, which again, as I said, take place in the same universe, just each book following different characters. So the first one that I have is the Windy City series. So weirdly enough, I actually read book 2, which is The Right Move. By the way, Windy City series by Liz Tomford is a romance series. So I read The Right Move, which is again the second book. So I actually haven't read the first book yet at all. So I have the first book, the third, fourth, and fifth book to read from that series. I've seen a really, really great review for this series as a whole, and I really, really like The Right Move. When I read them, I just haven't really gotten the urge to pick up the next few books, so I will do that probably in the future, because yeah, I'm really interested in reading it. It's really, really positive review online, so I have really good expectations for that one. So I will be picking that up, probably not in this video, but maybe in the future episodes. The next one that I have, which is kind of like the rest of these separated series, I kind of just categorize them into like the maybe piles because these are series that I did start, but I'm not really sure if I want to continue to pick up or not. Maybe I will in the future, but as of right now, probably not yet. Like I don't have the urge to pick them up yet. So I have The Throne of the Fallen by Kara Maniscalco. So I only have Throne of Secrets left to read. So yeah, the Throne of Fallens was following Prince of Envy, and Throne of Secrets, which is the second book in that series, is following Prince of Gluttony. So the reason why I'm putting this on a maybe pile was because I feel like, okay, Throne of the Fallen was not a bad book. It's just like it was really an okay book, just okay book. It's not any kind of romantasy that wowed me. Like it's nothing new, nothing special, and whatever. So I've never really had the urge to continue the series, but maybe I will pick it up in the future just because I think that it's still an interesting concept following like this Princess of Hell. But yeah, as of right now, don't really have the urge to pick them up. Maybe I will in the future, maybe not. We'll see. The next one is the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I'm not really sure. I don't really remember who the author is to this book, but Done and Dusted. I read the first book and I only have book two to book four to read. So, yeah, again, this is one of those romance series that are following different brothers or something like that. And it's gotten really, really great reviews online. So, maybe I will pick it up, maybe not. I read Done and Dusted and it was okay. I liked it, but again, not anything that I am like itching to pick up as of right now. The next one is the Locked Tomb series. So I read Gideon the Ninth. So I only have Harrow, Nona, and Electo to read. So again, Gideon the Ninth was fine. It was a pretty funny book, but it didn't really wow me. I gave it like what 3.5 stars, I think. Just an okay book. Like I'm not really like itching to pick it up as of right now. The next one is the Mortal Instruments series, which I've read City of Bones. So I have book two to six to read. So that's 5 books. I'm putting this on the maybe pile because I just haven't really had the urge to pick it up. Like I haven't really felt like I want to pick up this series, but this is probably the one in the maybe pile that I'm the most willing to pick up. Like I'm the most like have the most chance to pick up in the future because I watched the TV series The Shadow Hunter and I also watched the movie City of Bones, the one starring Lily Collins, and I really really liked this universe. Shadowhunter in general really really like this concept of the world and universe and a magic system and blah blah blah. And yeah, I think it's a really really interesting concept, so I will most probably be picking it up in the future. I'm just not exactly sure when I will do that. Maybe, in the next few episodes. So yeah, that is actually all for the series. There are upcoming books that are coming for other series, such as A Study in Drowning coming out with book two, which I'm actually really surprised about. I didn't know that she was gonna continue the series. I thought it was a standalone, but apparently we're gonna be continuing the series. So there's book two, which is actually coming next month, I'm pretty sure. So there's that. It's called A Theory of Dreaming. And then the next one is the third book in the Ninth House series. So I know Lee Bardugo already teased the third book, and that one I'm really really excited to read. I loved Hellbent, like loved it more than Ninth House, which is I think is a very very controversial opinion because I know a lot of people have opinions on Hellbent and the plots and how it is, but I actually really really love that book. Like there is something about Lee Bardugo's second book, Crooked Kingdom, and Hellbent. Oh my gosh, I love them more than the first book, which again very controversial, but that is my opinion on that. Yeah, and the rest of the Imperial series as of right now, that is all the series that I'm currently in the middle of and hoping to be able to get through by the end of this next few episodes. So I think I'm just gonna be doing like a couple of episodes, maybe like 3 to 4 books per episode, I would say, maybe more. It depends on the time that I have and the schedule and whatnot. But yeah, I think that is all for the list of the series that I'm in the middle of and hoping to be able to finish by the end of this whole series and be able to start a lot of other new series that I want to start. Like I know I really wanted to start the Serpent and the Wings of the Night series. That one is one that I'm really, really interested to start reading, but I can't do that. Like, I really will finish a lot of these series before starting any new ones because I swear I will start forgetting the plots if I don't read them like right now. So yeah, that is all for the introduction of the series that we'll be reading in this next few episodes, and I hope that you guys will enjoy watching me read and review these books. And yeah, let's get into the reading portion of this video. Morning, guys. So I ended up picking up Fearless because, to be quite honest with you, since the first time I got my hand on the hard copy of this book, I've been itching to pick it up. It's been constantly at the back of my mind. So I knew that I had to pick it up the first chance that I got, and it is for this video. So I did cheat a little bit and read a few chapters last night. It's only been like four chapters, really not a lot. And so far it's been going pretty great actually. So if you are not familiar with this series, it's basically about our main character Peyton, and we just kind of follow her. In the first book, we followed her through her going through this trial to become, I don't actually remember like what the trial was for, but I just remember like she went through a trial and there are two princes in this kingdom that is ruled by this really evil king. And yeah, she has secrets, things happens, and things escalate. So now in this third book, it basically takes place directly after the second book. So if you know the events that happened in the second book, the ending of the second book, it is very shocking. So you know exactly why I needed to pick it up as soon as I get the chance to. So yeah, it just kind of directly continues right after the ending of the second book. And uh, it's been pretty, I feel like this book, it's gonna be pretty angsty. Like I can see the angst and the really hard read coming for the journey of me reading this book. I'm not ready, but I do really, really love this series. So I just kind of want to read it. And this is the last book in the trilogy. And I'm really excited and a little bit scared and also a little bit sad to be reading this book because this is the last book, and you know it means that the series is gonna be over. And I really, really did love this series. So yeah, just a little bit sad that I'm gonna be leaving this universe and this world soon, but I think it's gonna be pretty good. I have a really, really high expectation for this book, which is kind of not usually the best thing because expectation leads to disappointment, and I've had that happen so many times. And I didn't want to have a high expectation going into this book because I just like I don't want to get disappointed, but at the same time I can't help but have a high expectation because like ugh, I'm just like I've only read a few chapters and I'm already like quaking, and like every time Kai's point of view comes to on the page, I'm like clutching my pearls because oh my gosh, it's the pining. If you love pining, and you know I love pining, this book and this series is totally for you. Now, really love the first book. I gave it 5 star, and the second book I really liked it as well. I gave it 4 stars, but the second book feels really a lot like a filler book. Like it's definitely very much a second book syndrome type of book. And for this one, I'm hoping it'll be a really, really epic. Last books in like, you know, any kind of series usually are the best one. So again, can't help but really have high expectation for this one. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue reading this, and I'm gonna give you guys updates along the way. I don't really have anything planned for today, so I think I'm just gonna be at home reading the whole day and devouring this book. So, yeah, that is it for the update that I have for now. And this is the book that I ended up picking up, and I'll update you guys along the way as I have any more thoughts about this book. And yeah, let's get into reading this book. Okay, so a little update. I'm about this far into Fearless now, and the pacing so far has been pretty slow. I would say, like, it's not really very action packed. We've been doing a lot more exploration in terms of the political aspect of this world and the new things that are happening in the kingdom. They are, however, bringing back this one thing that I really love in the first book. So I do have an inkling that after the chapter that I've just read, that it's about to get a lot more action packed, and that is really, really exciting. It's just that now the character, our main character, Peyton, she has a lot more to lose and just different things at stakes, different goals and different things that she needed to achieve. And I just think it's really exciting. Like, reading this third book has brought back so many of the feelings that I had when I read the first and the second book, and just how much I love these sets of characters, and just how much I love being in this universe and this story and following them and the things that the characters are going through. And another thing is like the writing. Oh my gosh, like I've missed this author's writing so much. If you've read her books before, you know about how she writes certain dialogues that are exchanged between the characters that are just so beautiful and so poetic. Like, I feel like if it were to be set in real life, it would be really, really cringe, but because it's a fantasy book, and dialogues in books that are, tend to be cringe, will always turn into something beautiful and poetic. I think it depends, but I think in this case, it's really like, I really just love how she writes certain expressions that the characters are expressing towards each other. They're just so poetic and so heart wrenching. And it's just like, I really love the chemistry that she's able to make us readers feel in this book. And that's just what I'm feeling so far. Like, the chemistry and the pining and the yearning in this book, I feel like is even better than the first book. So I would say so far it's definitely meeting all of the expectations that I have, which is really, really good. This book is like really thick though. Like, I'm honestly a little bit intimidated because like this is almost 600 pages. I would say is the thickest one yet out of the whole trilogy. But I mean, I do understand this is the last book in the series, and they needed to close up all the chapters and give us readers all the closures that they needed to give. So I do understand and why it needs to be this thick. But yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm really excited to just follow through to this character's journey and just reading more about the things that they're going through. That's all I can say, I feel like, so far. Yeah, I will give you guys update when I have more things to say, or when I'm like halfway through, or maybe finish the book, and we'll see. So yeah, that is all the updates that I have for Fearless so far. guys, I finished Fearless by Lauren Roberts. And girl, when I catch you, oh my god, this book, I almost want to describe it as the perfect finale. Almost. Okay. 4.75, really close to 5 star. I might even bump it to 5 star, honestly, because this ending, oh my god, and this whole book in general, such an emotional roller coaster. I I don't even know how many times I've cried when I'm reading this book. I would literally be sitting in a cafe drinking my bubble tea, and tears would be swelling up in my eyes, tears rolling down my cheek, and I literally had to stop myself from reading because, oh my gosh, the emotional turmoil this book had put me through was insane. There's something about the way that Lauren Roberts write that just really brings this character to life. I think it's something so beautiful how a writing on a page and just your imagination can really conjure up these characters and really bring these characters to life and connect to these characters. And I'm always gonna be so amazed at her for being able to do that, because this whole series as a whole has been such a good journey. It's been a crazy emotional one, but it's so good. Such a good ending. Like, there are losses that we go through along the way, some stuff that I would like to maybe protest on. I feel like there is one reveal in this book that I already guessed coming very early on in the book. As soon as I saw that one point of view etched on these pages, I knew that there is a review that is going to be going towards that direction, and it had made me felt so weird the whole entire time to read that. And it did happen, and it's so, like, that's why I almost want to give it like maybe 4.75 to 5 star, because I don't think I can ignore that part of the story. Like, what the hell happened and why did the plot go there? So yeah, this book, as I said, is mostly very political. It's like focusing a lot on the political element of this kingdom, and what the characters have to go through in terms of the political aspect for the better of the kingdom. And we also delve into a lot of the chemistry between these characters and their relationship with each other, whether it is friendship, brotherhood, or love relationship. And I think it's really beautiful that she's able to encompass and just have all of these things and all of these aspects all in just 600 pages of this book. Like, it's a long one, but at the same time I feel like it is just the perfect amount of pages and the perfect length for a finale and for the closure that we needed for this whole series as a whole. Yeah, there are parts that I feel like is a bit more slow paced, but I feel like towards the 3/4 part of this book, like the last quarter of this book, was really really action packed, and it's been such an emotional roller coaster to just read this book, and all of the reveals that happen and everything that happens in the plot, and just the devastatingly good romance that they have in this book. Like, I can't even tell you how much I love this romance. There are some types of romance in books that I feel like you can say, okay, they are meant for each other and they clearly love each other, they're in love with each other. But Peyton and Kai, they're literally soulmates. Like, you can't even tell me otherwise. They are soulmates in every universe, every lifetime. I love them both so much. And oh my gosh, the losses that we had in this book, I don't even want to spoil them because it's so devastating and so heartbreaking. Like, there are genuine moments in this book where I just feel my heart shattering and a piece of me gone. Yeah, it's such an interesting story to read. It's not necessarily anything new or anything super unique in terms of like fantasy books. I feel like this type of story has been done so many times before. That's kind of the beauty in it. I think that it doesn't have to be something that's so perfect or something that is so complicated or sophisticated. It can just be simple writings in a book, but you can connect to these characters and you can love these characters so much, and you can just want to follow and see where these characters end up. And I think that's something that's really beautiful, and that's why I love reading, especially reading series, because being able to be connected with these characters and be able to be inside this world in general is something that is very special already. So yeah, I know that there's a lot of opinions out there regarding this series as a whole, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comment on this book specifically because of the plot that happened in it, but I still think that it's such a special series for me, and I feel so sad now that it's ended. But at the same time, maybe in the future I can go back to these characters again and just reread this book, and it's gonna be fine. I just think that it's such a good finale. Like, it's such a good closure that we were given for these characters and for the things that happens in this book. Again, that one plot, I don't think I can ignore. I don't think that it needed to go in that direction. I feel like they could have a million other plots that they could have put in here, but she decided to put that one. I would give this series as a whole 5 stars, like 5, 6 stars. Anyways, that's all I can ramble about in this book. I love it so much. Please read this series if you haven't. That is all that I have to say for Fearless by Lauren Roberts. So, yeah, that's all the update that I have for this book. Love it. No, because it's literally the most unserious little sentence in the book. Like, I can't. Okay, so I just started Rebel Witch, which is the second book to the Crimson Moth series, and I'm only at chapter 2 right now. Literally only one chapter in. I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't know what the hell is going on. Like, it's not starting the way I expected it to start. Okay, so the thing is, it's been quite a while since I read this book, and I don't know what's going on. It's like, okay, maybe I need to like refresh my mind a little bit, but I feel like all the feelings that I felt while I was reading the first book, all the connection that I had to the character is like very dim. It's not really there anymore since it's been a while since I read the first book. I don't even know what to feel right now. And it's what I thought was the ending of Crimson Moth and what I thought was going to be how this second book starts. It's not how it is going right now. Like, the ending of Crimson Moth, that I remember, there's something that happened, right? But then it doesn't start off directly after the ending of Crimson Moth. So I'm like a little bit confused right now. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, I guess. If I get a little bit farther and I'm not feeling the story, I might just pick a different book. Maybe I will read the first book again and then I will go back to the story. But yeah, so far it's like that. I was really excited though to read this one. So it's kind of feels a little bit annoying if I have to put the book down again and read it next time. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Like, but then again, I'm only like one chapter in, so guess we'll see how that goes. Okay, morning guys. So I'm about to get ready to go out. So I thought I should talk to you guys a little bit about Rebel Witch while I get ready. So I did made it to about 28% into the book, and honestly so far as I'm reading more and more into the book, the plots are coming back and all of the feelings that I had are slowly coming back. Like the more that I read the plots and the more that I see the characters that appear in book two, I'm like, oh wait, I remember this character from book one and what they did and what happened in book one. So that's slowly coming back, which is good. So it's kind of getting me back in the mood for this world and this magic system in general, which I do have to say, this is something that I've said since book one, I'm pretty sure, but I really, really love the magic system that they have in this book and in this series in general, because the magic system is like really cool. Like the way they have to use blood and stuff like that to do their magic, it kind of gives the whole concept of the witches to be like darker concept compared to like a lot of other books that I've seen that has witches in it. And also I feel like now that, okay, I don't think this is gonna be a spoiler because I think it's pretty obvious if you read the first book. So there's a lot of like lies and secret that happens in book one, but now that everything is out in the open, I feel like this is a really, really great chance for the author to just strengthen the chemistry and also the relationship between our two love interests. Not that it wasn't already convincing in book one, but I feel like now that they're free to just like be exactly who they are with each other and accept each other's flaws, that's just gonna make the romance that much better, which I do love. There's also a trope that I really, really liked in this book, which is the one bedroom, very cramped bedroom, one bed trope. Like, we are getting that in this book, and I love that trope because that always brings out the most tension, and that's great. Yeah, so far it's going pretty good. I would say it's very thrilling, the plot that we have right now. It's the kind of plot where two rivals basically have to work with each other to achieve a certain goal, and I freaking love that trope so much. Like, I love that kind of plot. The tension that comes with that kind of trope is always so, so good. So yeah, honestly, that is all that I have to say about it right now. I haven't really made that much progress, but I do have to go out today, run some errands, and I'm probably gonna visit a couple of cafes. So I'm very excited to just kind of sit down and focus on this book and just read and read. And I think it's gonna be a really, really good time. So yeah, that is all the update that I have so far, and I'll update you guys once I get further into the book. Okay, hi guys. I have an update. So I did finish Rebel Witch yesterday night, and I have so many things that I want to say about this book. Oh my gosh, 5 stars, hell, 6 stars. It is such a good second book and such a good finale and ending to the story. Like, it's literally so good. It has impeccable plot, great characters, very, very cool magic system. Like, that is all that I could have asked for a good fantasy series. And Kirsten Ciccarelli, like, second book syndrome, she doesn't even know what that means. Like, she literally devoured this second book and she wrote it so well. I literally have no complaints. Like, no complaints. It's so good. Yeah, the plot is just so fun. It's so action packed and so fast paced. It just kept me wanting to read the whole time. Like, yesterday, I had like around 72% left into the book when I started reading yesterday, and I finished that everything in one day. Just in one day, I literally could not put the book down. I would be sitting in the cafe reading for 3 hours because I just couldn't put the book down and I needed to know what happens next. Every page made me so anxious for our character and like what's gonna happen to them. It is literally so anxiety inducing because it literally keeps you at the edge of your seat because of the plot that is happening in this book and their love story. Oh my gosh. Gideon and Rune stays confused about their feelings the whole time. And I'm like, girl, me too. I literally cannot even predict what these characters are gonna do next and what their feelings actually are for each other because I'm like, they're so confused about their feelings. I'm as a reader also confused about their feelings, and I'm like, guys, like we need to figure this out. But the thing is, this love story that happens in this book, it's not really the kind of love story that makes you feel giddy and happy and like hee hee ha ha kind of love story. It's literally heartbreaking and it's almost like very devastating because you know the circumstances that these two characters are in at the moment, and literally watching their love for each other and watching their love story progress, it literally hurts. I would literally be like clenching my shirt and I'm like, my heart is gonna burst out of my chest because it almost feels a little bit painful and you almost like pity them because instead of going like, hell yeah, they love each other, you're almost going like, ah, man, like they love each other so much, but it's the thing, it's the circumstances, it's like it's making it so hard for them. You almost pity them because they love each other so much and they're willing to do so much for each other. There's also a kind of found family aspect in this book which I really really love so much. I will always love when there's like found family in a book series because that is literally the best recipe to making some of the best book series and some of the best sets of characters out there. Just like the concept of loyalties and, you know, people being willing to fight for each other side by side, just being tethered by simply loyalty and friendship. That is a concept that will always touch my heart, and I will always love that concept so much. There's also like fake dating incorporated, there's heist and a lot of other fun stuff. There's not one part in this book where I felt bored at all. It's like always so fun, always so good, and it's just like 6 freaking stars. Okay, I did however predicted two of the reveals. So there's two reveal that happened in this book, and I predicted both of them. I remember when the ending climax scene was unfolding, I was like, wait, let me literally predict how this story is gonna end. Let me literally predict where this plot is gonna go and what the author is gonna do to end this series. And I literally predicted it word per word. I'm not even kidding. It literally happened step by step, word per word, as what I expected it to go to. Okay, sometimes I would complain about, you know, having guest twists in book and stuff like that, but I feel like for this book, however, it's not really making me feel disappointed or it's not really making me feel disheartened that I guess where the story was going because it is literally the best possible outcome that I would have wanted for this book and that I would have wanted for this character. Like that is how I wanted the story to end. It ended in such a emotional way. It really locks in, you know, your connection to these characters with the way that the story ended. The series as a whole has just been so good. 5 star series as a whole. First book 5 stars, second book held 6 stars. So it's just been a really, really great read and just a great, great series to have been able to be a part of. I don't have any complaints. Like this will stay one of the best book series that I've ever read in my whole life. So that is really all that I have to say about this series. We're just gonna continue to reading our next book for this video, which I'm thinking I'm gonna pick up Crown of Midnight because I just, you know, I need to continue Throne of Glass. I've been thinking about them and I feel like I really want to continue the series as it's still fresh in my mind, and the fact that I still have so many books in the series to read. I think in this vlog I'm gonna try my best to read Crown of Midnight and Air of Fire. So let's get to reading the next book for this video. little bit into Crown of Midnight. I'm about almost 50%, I would say. Oh my freaking god, let me tell you, if you are a fellow Kale and Kalena enthusiast, this book is freaking lethal for you, okay? Like, this book is for you. At least so far, I'm at about 23 chapters into the book, and oh my god, never ever in my life have I ever kicked my feet in the air out of excitement so much until I read this book. I'm telling you, like, if you love Kayla and Kalena, you need to continue into this book. Like, I don't care, okay? It's just like this book so far is so good. Okay, the plot is basically taking place basically in the aftermath of the first book. So after that, Kalena has to do some stuff, okay, in her journey, and we're following that. We also see that another mystery is going on in the castle, and then we need to figure it out together with Kalena, and that is really interesting. I've always really loved when there are aspects of mystery in books because it keeps us entertained and keeps us reading, right? And then the plot in this one, I feel like it's not to say more intense. I feel like the level of intensity is about the same as Throne of Glass, but I do feel like it's just, yeah, it's still very interesting for me to read. So I'm still following through with it, but the romance, okay, that I can say keeps me going. Oh my god, it's like I literally have to gasp. I have to like close the book and just like like calm down. It's just an interaction between two people. Like there's nothing to, freak out about it. But yes. Hell yeah. You go, Dorian. You know what? I'm on Team Dorian now. I changed team, guys. He's literally the only one who can stand up for himself. Like, I am all for this man, okay? You go, Dorian. Okay, so I managed to finish Crown of Midnight last night, and okay, I take everything I said in the last update back because if you are a Kale and Kalena enthusiast, take this as a warning, okay? I'm not gonna say anything more, I'm just saying take it as a warning. It only goes downhill from now. I swear to God, by the end of this book, I literally wanted to strangle Kale. Like the thing is, at the end of everything, I still root for him and Kalena, okay? And I still love him, but I love him and hate him at the same time. Like, I don't know if that is exactly what Sarah J. Maas wanted us to think, but oh my god. I just needed to like simmer down my anger because this guy needs to learn how to take a chill pill, take a step back, and talk to people instead of making rash decisions because, like, my god, my guy, like, I love you so much, but you need to stop doing that, okay? Anyways, let's talk about the plot that happens in this book, which I do have to say, honestly, the plot that happens in the second book for me is more interesting than the romance. Like, the plot in this one kind of is a level above the romance. Like, I really, really like the magic system that we get to explore in this book, and also there are more elements of mystery that we get to explore here, and the mystery that is surrounding the castle and the things that our characters have to do in order to solve this mystery and in order to move on and in order to basically make things right. And I really, really, really like that. Honestly, that scene in the library, if you know, you know, and that scene in the tomb, the last scene, literally had me holding my breath. I was literally like reading that part so fast and at the same time holding my breath in because those scenes make me anxious as hell. Like my anxiety level was through the roof. I just needed our characters to be safe and sound and healthy and everything. I just don't want anything bad to happen to them. And those scenes are so intense. Okay. Which I love, by the way. So honestly, rating for this, I would say I'd give it 4 stars because yeah, it's definitely better than the first book in my opinion. Like the things definitely pick up and gets more interesting and really gets us into the series a lot more. Which I do have to say, that reveal that happens in the end, it happens so fast. My mouth was like gaping, my jaw was on the floor at that last page, and I was like, wait, this is the end of the book, which I have to say, oh my god, what a privilege to be living at a time when this series is complete, because I can't even imagine having to wait like 1 or 2 years before the next book comes out. I would have lost my mind. Thankfully, I can directly go into the next book because I need to know what happens. Okay, I kind of see it coming, but the person that I thought it would be was not the person that it turned out to be. It was really shocking and really good. I really like this. Definitely, if you feel like the first book was like kind of slow, I would totally recommend to continue to the series because it only goes up from there. I hope so. My opinions on Dorian in this book goes up. Okay, the character development that he goes through, not only like the character development, I just feel like in this book we get to see more of Dorian and more of his charms and his personality and just more of his character's point of view in general. And honestly, at this point, Dorian is the only person that I can trust in this book. Like, he stays the most innocent and just pure person in this whole book so far. Okay, he has his flaws and he has things that goes on in his mind as well, but through and through, at the end of it, in the aftermath of everything, he still stays the most pure person, the most pure character, and I love him so much. Okay, like, so yeah, that is all what I have to say about this book. It is an intense read. I would say like the first 40% of this book was all happy and giddy and fun. The last 60% is intense. It only goes more and more intense, and I'm so excited to continue to the series, and so excited that I decided to pick up the series finally after such a long time of having this series in my TBR. Finally, I'm picking it up and reading it, and I'm so excited to continue to this journey. I'm going to read Assassin's Blade next though instead of Air of Fire. Like, I know online I've seen different courses of people saying either to read Air of Fire or Assassin's Blade first, but the more that I, go through people's opinions, people says that Assassin's Blade kind of introduced some characters that we will see in Air of Fire, which is why I would want to read Assassin's Blade before Air of Fire. And I think that with the ending of this book and the reveal that we got and what we can see of Kalena's background that happens in this book, I think that it's a really great setup and a really great opening to set the mood for a prequel, because I know Assassin's Blade is a prequel of Throne of Glass. So I think that with the ending that happened, it only feels right to go to the prequel first, so we go back in time first before continuing on to the journey. So I'm gonna read Assassin's Blade after this one instead of Air of Fire, and we're just gonna go from there. So yeah, that is what I have to say about this book. And yes, please read it. 4 stars, totally recommend. Okay, so I managed to finish Assassin's Blade last night, and basically, yeah, this book is just kind of like a prequel. This book basically predates the event of Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, and it's just kind of like an extensive look into Kalena's background and the missions that she had to go through, and what it was like when she was still under the leadership of Arabin Hamel. Through these missions that she goes through, we also get to meet a lot of different characters that are really, really interesting in my opinion. And we also get a lot of in-depth look into her relationship with Sam and how it started and what their friendship looked like in the past, because he was mentioned a lot in Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. Personally, for me, I would say it doesn't really matter if you read this before Throne of Glass or after Crown of Midnight, because I feel like it doesn't really necessarily spoil anything in the book. It's just that a lot of the events that she mentioned in Throne of Glass or Crown of Midnight is basically, this is like the extended version of the things that and the events that she mentioned in both of the first and the second. We also get to see where she learns a lot of her skills and a lot of the things that she did put to use in the first and the second book. And I think that a lot of the characters that we meet in this book, we are going to meet in the future books. There are still a few characters that we have yet to meet, but I'm thinking that we're probably going to meet them in like probably book 3 to Kingdom of Ash, something like that. I would say my favorite one in this book, which by the way, this book is like a compilation of different novellas of Kalena's journey, but I think my favorite one I would say is the Assassins and the Healer when she met Irene. I don't know if that's how you actually pronounces her name, but the way I read it was Irene, and I really, really liked that story. It was like a really girl power kind of story, and it's a really touching story to read. It's not really touching, but it's really empowering to read for me. Yeah, I would say honestly, as far as I'm following the journey of this character, I can honestly say that Kalena is probably one of my favorite female main characters out there. She is really, really strong minded, and she gets what she wants. She works hard for what she wants, but at the same time she is also very compassionate and she wants to help a lot of people, and she is very strong minded and independent, which is something that I really, really love about female main characters. But I do feel like the personality that Kalena has in this book compared to the first and the second book is slightly different. I feel like this is kind of like a more sharp edged version of Kalena, and she is definitely a lot more naive in this book, which we kind of see exactly why her personality changed and how her personality changed, and the events that she had to go through to become who she was in the book that we are currently reading now. But at the same time, I said that she's more rough edged and more naive in this book, but I feel like this book, compared to the second and the first book, is like a little bit more softer of a book. Not to say that it's soft. I feel like soft is not the word that I would, describe this book to be, but it's a lot more of like empowering stories and just really, really interesting look into Kalena's background and the friendship that she made through these missions that she had to go through. It's more for me emphasize on that. Probably if you're the type of person that doesn't really like to read prequels after you've already read the book that has basically been, I don't really know how to say it, but like if you're not really the type of person that doesn't really like to read prequels in general after you've already read the events that happens in the future, then I would probably suggest you to read this book first. But if you don't mind it, honestly, this book as a third book is totally fine for me. I feel like if you're the type of person that doesn't read prequels, I feel like this book can get a little bit boring, maybe, and a little bit slow at times, especially if you've already read Crown of Midnight. And Crown of Midnight is like a very, very intense book. And then jumping into Assassin's Blade is kind of like the pace slows down, and the book is a lot more slower, again, a lot more kind of softer in my opinion. So if you don't really like that, then I would suggest you to read this book first. I do see a lot of debate of people saying to read this after Air of Fire. I'm not really sure exactly what changes if you read this after Air of Fire because I haven't read Air of Fire, but maybe when I do read them, I would like tell you guys. But I would say honestly, it doesn't really matter. Read this first, read this third. It really doesn't change anything in my opinion. It's just that for me, anyways, reading this third prepared me for the ending of this book because obviously you already know how this event is going to end. And I think that due to the circumstances and the ending of this book, I was able to kind of prepare myself a lot to like see that ending and to go through that ending. But yeah, really glad that I read this. I'd say for the rating, I gave this like 3.75 stars because I do feel like I kind of like this better than the first book, but not as much as the second book. So it's kind of like somewhat in the middle of that. So yeah, really, really excited to continue onto this series. It's just been genuinely such a blast to read. And after this, I still have like 5 books in the series that I have to read. So really, really excited to continue that journey. I think I'm gonna be reading Airfire tomorrow on my flight because I'm going home tomorrow. So and that basically marks the ending of this video. I read a total of 4 books in this video so far, and I wanted to say that I was able to finish 2 series, which is the Powerless Trilogy and the Crimson Moth duology, but turns out Lauren Roberts is releasing another novella for the Powerless Trilogy, so technically it's not finished yet. It's gonna be following Kit and Mara, which we get to see in the epilogue. I guess I would say I'm somewhat excited to read it. We've never seen Mara's character before, so it's gonna be like a new character. We only saw her in the epilogue, so kind of excited to read that. So I do need to read that one book and then I'll be finished with the Powerless trilogy, which also have been such a blast to read, honestly. And yeah, the Crimson Moth series finally checked out of my reading list. So that is one series down from the 15 series that I'm still in the middle of. And yeah, I'm just gonna continue this series of videos. Basically, it is gonna be episode 1, and there's gonna be more to come where I'm gonna be reading and trying to finish everything, hopefully. So yeah, that is kind of just all that I have to say for this video and the ending of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've stayed to the end, I know this is gonna be like a really, really long video. So if you have stayed until the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying and listening to what I have to say. Yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you so much again for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.